Your house is on the market. It's only been on 2 or 3 days. You had a couple of showings, and you get a call from your real estate agent saying, "Hey, we've got an offer." And you think, "Oh, this is great." And then you get another call from your agent 2 hours later and say, "Hey, we've got another offer. We need to get together and talk." Well, today I'm going to talk to you about the problems that you could face with multiple offer situations and the cautions that you probably need to take when you're considering how you're going to reply to each one of those offers. Hello, it's Mark Bamig with Relocation. It's your move. And what we do here at Relocation is connect buyers and sellers with good, qualified, seasoned agents all across the United States and across the globe. So, in this scenario, this happens quite often, as a matter of fact. When you put your house on the market, especially if it's in a highly desirable neighborhood, there's not a lot of properties that are on the market at the current time, you might get more than one offer. Now, there's two options that you have when it comes to a multiple offer situation, and your agent will probably go over these with you, but in just a real brief synopsis. The first one is you look at both of the offers and then you decide that you want to counter on one of those offers, and you work the best that you can to try and get that one countered to the best price that you want for the property. Now, if that doesn't come to play and there's still enough time to respond to offer number two, then you can always go to the second offer and make the response. So, a lot of agents, when they put on homes in the market, depending on what their rules and regulations are, they might say, "Hey, allow 48 hours for a response," because they know that there's a possibility that they would get more than one offer and they want to be able to accumulate the offer over 2 days. So let's just say that you did get an offer and it was in the first day or two of the listing and you have 48 hours to respond. You could always negotiate the first one. And if that doesn't come to fruition, perhaps you'd have enough time to go to offer number two. Now, you got to remember this too. Typically, if you haven't said anything to the agent who was submitting the offers, they have no clue that there is a second offer. And sometimes that's a good tactic to use. You just don't tell them and then you respond to the second offer. And we don't know who is going to have the best offer. Cash is king typically. Financing is a little bit more iffy when it comes to actually getting the deal to close. But if they were both cash or if they were both finance, you just want to work it to the best way that you can to get the best deal without having to go back and ask for highest and best. But that is option number two, is to go back and tell your buyers that, "Hey, we have multiple offers. We would like you to send us your highest and best." Well, there's a plus side and a minus side to that. And let's deal with the minus side first. The negative about that is a lot of buyers, once they find out that they're in a bidding war, are going to back out. They don't want any part of it. They don't want to have anything to do with a multiple offer situation, and they're just going to back out. So if both buyers have that attitude, now you don't have any offers. Now we've gone to zero from a possibility of two. So you have to really weigh that consideration. Now, like I said before, if there's not a lot of properties in the neighborhood, it's a very desirable area, then there's a possibility that that tactic would work. Now, we used this a lot during the pandemic in 2021 and 2022 because we knew that if these buyers didn't work, then the next ones would, and then the next ones. And we had a plenty of a supply of buyers to fill the market. Well, that's not really the case right now, especially where I'm located here in the Sarasota market of Florida. And there's a lot of places around the country that are in the same boat we are. There's a few that are not. Chicago is still pretty active. New York is still pretty active. Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area is still pretty active. So some of those markets, they are still seeing multiple offers, but it's a very fine line of how you want to respond. If you think about it this way, if you put your house on the market for a certain price and somebody makes you that offer for that price, and you do have multiple offers, it's probably better to go ahead and secure one of those so that you know for sure that you're going to have the house sold and that you can make a successful trip to the closing table. So I hope you got good information from this. If you find yourself moving or relocating or needing to buy a house in a certain area, we connect buyers and sellers with agents all across the United States and the globe. Now, these are people that are very qualified and certified for handling real estate transactions. Just call the 800 number below or click on the link in the description. Mark Bamig, Michael Saunders and Company.